Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really interesting cosmic theory, one that might finally explain those days where, for some reason, absolutely nothing seems to go your way.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You wake up and there's no real reason for it, but your mood is just off. Every little project hits a snag, and everything just feels like an uphill battle. It happens to all of us. But what if there was actually a name for it?
So, according to the source material we're looking at today, from astrologer Syed Ali Zanjani, there's this specific phenomenon that happens for about 2 or 3 days every single month. It's this weird period where your mood, your work, and even your business can feel like they've just slammed into a brick wall.
And in astrology, this phenomenon has a name. It's called Qamar Dar Aqrab. It literally translates to moon in Scorpio, and believe me, it is the key to this whole cosmic puzzle.
So, what is Moon in Scorpio, really? Well, in this context, it's a recurring window of time, about 2.5 days every month, where a really powerful cosmic influence is said to take let's say, a negative turn. Now, to get why this matters, you have to understand the moon's role here. In this particular astrological viewpoint, the moon is seen as this major force that controls the ebb and flow of our entire inner world. We're talking our emotions, our deep-seated feelings, and yeah, even the flow of money in our lives. But during these very specific 2.5 days of Qamar Dar Aqrab, that powerful, steadying influence supposedly becomes, well, unfavorable. It's almost like the main regulator for your emotional and financial state just goes completely haywire, and that's what leads to all that disruption and frustration. Okay, so we know what it is, but why does it happen? This is where it gets really interesting. The explanation our source gives uses this incredible analogy for how something happening way out in space could affect us so personally. It all hinges on a really simple biological fact. The human body is roughly 70% water. Now, you got to keep that number in your head, because it is the absolute key to this entire idea. So check this out. We all know the moon's gravitational pull is so strong it can literally move entire oceans, creating the tides, right? Well, the argument here is that the exact same incredible force is pulling on that 70% of water inside your body. It creates this kind of internal imbalance that then bubbles up as those difficult, volatile emotions. So, if this cosmic turbulence is a real thing, what are you supposed to do about it? Well, the source has some very, very specific advice on what you should absolutely not do during this Moon and Scorpio period. The main takeaway here is you might want to hold off on any major life events. The source strongly advises against launching a new business, starting a really important project, or making any big financial decisions. It even points out that marriages that happen during this window are often seen to, well, not last very long. And, of course, this leads to the most practical question of all, doesn't it? How on earth are you supposed to know when these specific 2.5 days are going to pop up each month? According to the source, you've got a couple of options. The first one, which is definitely more involved, is to actually learn astrology yourself. The second, much simpler path, is to consult a specific astrological almanac, something called the Hammad Jantri, which apparently lists the exact dates and times for Qamar Dar Aqrab. All right, so let's say you know what it is, and you know when it's happening. The million-dollar question is, can you actually do anything about it? Well, the good news is, the source says yes, and it offers a couple of solutions. The first remedy is actually surprisingly simple, and it's all physical. Since the whole theory is about the water in your body being thrown off balance, the advice is to fight it directly. Just drink plenty of water. Make sure you stay really well hydrated during these days. Now, beyond the physical, there's also a spiritual practice suggested to kind of soften the effects. It's a 3-step recitation. You start by reciting Durud Pak, which is a specific Islamic praise, 14 times. Then, in the middle, you repeat Ya Baaiso, one of the names of God in Islam meaning the resurrector, 70 times. And you finish up by reciting Durud Pak 14 more times. And the whole point of these remedies is pretty straightforward. The idea is that by doing these simple physical and spiritual acts, you can kind of shield yourself. It can help you ride out those emotional waves and steer clear of the disruptions that are said to come along with the moon in Scorpio. So the next time you have one of those days that just feels inexplicably off, what do you think is really behind it? Is it some kind of cosmic influence, a psychological cycle, or maybe just a state of mind? Whatever you believe, it's a pretty fascinating way to think about the invisible forces that just might be shaping our days. Thanks for diving into this with us.